WFMY News 2's Grace Holland dug into this and some of your questions about the implications of this decision. Grace, how often does our state see abortions after that 20-week mark?
The state tracks the number of abortions in our state, Chad. Less than 10% of them in 2019 were after 20 weeks gestation. I took some of your other top questions to local experts.
First question, what does abortion look like in North Carolina? 9 counties in the state have abortion clinics, including Guilford and Forsyth. NCDHHS reports about half are surgical and the other half are with a pill. Planned Parenthood says in our state you cannot get those pills through telehealth.
The number of pills you take do depend on where you are at in your pregnancy and gestational weeks. The first pill you take at one of our health centers with a medical provider, and then you can take the rest of them at home.
Our state borders several others which could ban abortion. So the next question is, will people from out of state seek abortions in North Carolina? The Kaiser Family Foundation says 18% of the people who got abortions in North Carolina came from somewhere else. A Greensboro clinic says patients came here even with Roe in place due to abortion restrictions in other states.
We've seen several patients from Texas even come in that, were found out they were pregnant right at 6 weeks, and they've had to come to one of our North Carolina clinics to be seen.
Healthcare experts expect that to increase, which could impact care.
Challenging the capacity and the limitations for these clinics that support these type of services for these patients. So it will definitely impact the access to service, possibly to our patients in our state, as well as others seeking that type of health care.
Roe versus Wade was long considered a settled constitutional right among political and legal experts. So what does overturning it mean for other rights? Roe was one of several cases tied to the 14th Amendment, which protects a right to privacy. Justice Samuel Alito says a right must be deeply rooted in this nation's history and tradition, and that abortion was illegal in most states at the time the 14th Amendment was adopted. Some believe the court could overturn other rights with this argument.
If the court is willing to overturn its own precedent on this particular issue, we have to be cognizant that the court probably is open to overturning other precedents.
Which brings us to our last question. What does this mean for future Supreme Court challenges? Constitutional experts believe other rights could face challenges. Justice Clarence Thomas wrote in his opinion that the court should reconsider cases like same-sex marriage and contraceptives.
Decisions will oftentimes signal where the litigation should go. And that's part of the point of Justice Thomas's concurrence. He's signaling, okay, let's start challenging these.
But that does not mean the court would overturn those decisions. Alito denies that in his opinion, writing that protected rights like intimate sexual relations, contraceptive, and gay marriage are fundamentally different from abortion because it destroys fetal life and does not protect liberty. Chief Justice John Roberts also noted in his own opinion that while he agreed with upholding the Mississippi abortion ban at the center of this case, he would not have overturned Roe v. Wade.